All right, so Seth, you recommended Paris, Texas.
Of course I did. It's a great movie.
Why?
I recommend it because, well, I watched it like a year ago or something. And then I fell in love with it instantly. You know, the colors, the story, the acting, the set design, all of that jazz. I've never really seen love portrayed as well in a film than I have in Paris, Texas. And I really wanted.
I gotta admit, as someone who was a little skeptical about Paris, Texas, because a lot of slow movies for me just plain don't work for me. I was not only pleasantly surprised, but I genuinely fell in love with a lot of aspects of the movie.
That's amazing. I'm glad. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I really wanted everyone to see it.
Same.
Hopefully, hopefully give people another chance.
I sent I was talking with Seth last night as I was watching it at like 2 a.m. and I told him and Bob that like the reason that a lot of slow movies don't work for me is because a lot of slow movies kind of use their pacing as an excuse to not evolve their story or change locations or anything or like do something dynamic with the material they're given. And
True,
I think that Paris, Texas is the complete opposite. Like, literally the first half hour or the first 25 minutes, I was like, oh shit, is this the whole movie? Just them road tripping back home to California? And he's going to, like, slowly reveal his story over time. And then I was subverted, because now they're back home, and he's trying to bond with his son, who he abandoned. And it's like, oh shit, is now this going to be the whole movie? Him bonding with his son, whom he abandoned at this house? And then, again, subverted expectations. They go back to Texas.
To Texas, right?
Meet with the mother, and it's like, oh shit. So, like, yeah, they legit, like, take time to... They don't spend too long in one place, and they always do something new with each location. That's what I love. It's not just repetitive and monotonous. It's legitimately evolving and dynamically changing throughout the course of the runtime. Even though I have my issues, even though I have like little nitpicks with the movie, I will say that runtime and scenes is not one of them. I would not cut out a single scene in the film. Everything has its purpose.
Every scene.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, every scene deserves its place in the film. There's there's nothing really I would change about it personally. I can't.
Even like even when like some of the scenes, like I guess maybe there's like very long scenes at some point, but it all serves a purpose. Like
exactly.
It never felt like too long. Or
it doesn't feel long for the sake of long. It's long in terms of for like development. I love the way that that like when they slowly like rebuild the relationship between the father and between Travis and his son. Like legitimately, like when he first arrives, his kid is like a little shit. And not in a way that's like unrealistic. Like his kid is like kids are little shits. Like all children are just little shits. But at the same time, they're children. Like there's nothing wrong with making your child character a little piece of shit at points because that's what children are. But at the same time, he's still a kid. He just doesn't really know any better about his father's scenario or situation.
Yeah.
So the scene especially when he's at the school and they're like walking side by side in the sidewalk on the opposite sides of the road, and like he trips over the trash can, and then his son kind of like mimics that. That's like such a great way to like slowly to show that they're like kind of building a relationship, and I really they're bonding. I loved that. It was awesome.
Yeah,
that's the example. That's an example of slow development done right.
Exactly. Yeah, how their relationship builds is it's just amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's probably my favorite part of the whole film, to be honest.
My favorite part.
I will admit the middle part is probably my favorite. Like the second.
My favorite part is the one scene, the Super 8 scene. I don't know if you guys know what I mean by that.
Scene.
That's a fantastic scene. Yeah.
I have rewatched that scene so many times with like music over it. And it's like
great.
Yeah, but like this time I rewatched it and it just made me fall into tears. Like it's so I don't know, there's something about it, and I love that kind of, regardless of the context of the film, I like that kind of filmmaking. You know, like you know, like just the home recordings and the stuff like that. I just love that stuff, and it hit me really hard this time.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Seeing how happy they are, and like seeing how it fell apart clearly, how he's just distraught by everything.
When Hunter finally sees his mom in the hotel, it's just that scene broke me, to be honest.
God, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I can't
the slow development during the scene where we like learn why Travis like ran away.
Oh yeah,
that was so heartbreakingly beautiful.
that was.
For me, it's like the you know at the end when they're in it's making me cry a bit now when they're in the hotel together at the end, and then he notices that his mum had a haircut, and then he's like it's really subtle, but he's pretending to cut his mum's hair with his hands.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you caught that, but that like really makes me sad. It's like, oh my god. He was looking back at the videos and stuff, and it's like, you know, just acknowledging and he's obviously seen it so many times that he knows what her hair used to look like, and then she gets it. It's all different, and he's not used to it, and it's like, oh fucking hell, man.
I know.
It's honestly one of those movies where I don't really think I can comment on visuals either. Visuals are just so beautiful that it's kind of like a cliche to talk about how beautiful Paris, Texas is, because everyone fucking knows. Even people who haven't seen it have an idea of just how beautiful the film is. So it kind of feels pointless to be like, oh yeah, it has great cinematography and the great colors, and it's like everyone fucking knows. So I'm kind of just relying on individual scenes. Another scene that I really love, and it's kind of like a weird one to love because it really isn't that big in terms of story, is the scene with the maid.
Yeah.
When he's trying to figure out how to dress, oh, how should I dress? And she's like, oh, do you want to look rich? And it's like, and that whole scene, it's really not that. It's probably the one scene that you honestly could have a minor reason for cutting. You could have cut that because it's really not that important, but at the same time, it is fucking, it's very important because it's kind of it
adds detail.
It's important in the way that it's not important on the surface. You just have to look past the obvious. You have to sort of look beyond it, and the details in the scene itself really make that scene worth keeping. So yeah.
It's such a unique take on a road trip movie. It's never repetitive or does any sort of cliche at all. It's super unique, which I loved. It was just kind of felt fresh and new, and
so
it also was so natural.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so natural. All the conversations were so natural, especially in the
because it's all from the view of a German director, you know. He expresses
I keep forgetting that this isn't
landscapes more. He does it more authentically than Americans themselves.
He does it better than a lot of American directors. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
As someone who's driven through landscapes like Texas, a lot of that is pretty fucking on the dot. Just how empty
it is.
It is.
Yeah, I know.
It's also insane how you'll know oh, it's Paris, Texas, it's beautiful, but then you'll be watching, and then there's a scene that just completely sends you oh my gosh, the colors just look so beautiful in the scene. You're constantly reminded of it throughout the whole movie too. It's not just oh, here's this one scene with great cinematography. No, it's the entire film, all the time.
No, you have to. I guarantee you that my score will most likely go up just based on how much I'll find on a second watch to appreciate the film.
Yeah. No, it definitely. Yeah. I mean, regardless, I gave it a 10 when I first watched it, obviously, because I'm a Sims and shit. But the second viewing was so much better. Because
I don't know. The reason I didn't give it a higher score is because I don't want to anticipate ahead of time, because maybe I'll just be it's just an even stronger this point. I don't know. I'm right now I'm rooting for it. I really do want the score to go up because there is a lot that I just genuinely love, and the only thing keeping it back are just some little nitpicks here and there, which honestly in the grand scheme of things now, like after sleeping on it, I don't really that don't really bug me that much. But I don't know. I think one of them would be I think my biggest nitpick would be with the.
Oh.
You cut out, Xander.
Cut out a little bit.
My biggest nitpick was, and then
like the scene where she discovers that like they're on the road trip together, and she kind of just doesn't really have. She does have a reaction, but like not one that like feels incredibly believable. It's like, dude, you're literal like the little boy that you've been caring for most of his life is on a road trip with a man that you don't really know all that much. I mean, yeah, he's technically family, but you don't really know him all that much. So it's like, wouldn't you freaking out way more?
Yeah, but for me at the same time, like, he's the kid's dad. I mean, I get your point.
True.
I get your
That's
point.
why it's just a nitpick, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the kid's dad, and she obviously was worried, but like, you couldn't really do much about it then.
That is true.
Yeah,
I guess some of that, like that. I guess some of that, like. Yeah, no, it's not like she could have done that. Help! The boy that I technically adopted is out with the boy's real father. Oh, okay, ma'am, what's the danger?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. Yeah, and I actually agree with Aaron a little bit. Like, I thought there was definitely some lines of the moms where like it could have been delivered a bit better. You know what I mean?
There were a few moments in the beginning.
Yeah,
the aunt definitely. She has an acting issue. She
and again, like everyone kind of has a couple of lines that aren't like all that great. But here's the thing with Travis and the brother and even the kid, I can actually sort of understand it because like for Travis, he has amnesia. He's kind of forgotten how to be around people. So his sort of wooden delivery actually makes sense sometimes. The kid is a little kid. He doesn't really understand the situation, so his wooden delivery is kind of warranted as well. The brother is in complete disbelief that his brother is even alive, so his sort of wooden lines at points is a bit warranted. The aunt just doesn't feel as warranted. And the person who doesn't have any wooden lines at all for me is the wife, or the
Jane.
ex-wife.
Jane,
Travis. Yeah, Jane.
Yeah, Jane.
Yeah.
She was definitely. Yeah. She was,
She's
if not,
perfection.
she was one of it. She was probably the best she was probably the best performance of the film. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Travis's performance was pretty fantastic too.
Yeah,
to be
it
honest.
No. Not to bank on Travis at all. No. Travis was absolutely for
And the brother's acting was very good too.
It's such a fun
role.
He pulls it off well.
At first, it was kind of weird when he first ran into his brother. Like a couple lines felt weird, like Travis, what are you doing, man? And I'm like, okay, is that really what we're doing here? Yeah, I don't know. But you get used to it over time. So now those problems don't really bother me.
Yeah.
By the way, I am going to mute myself. You guys can just continue the conversation, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Natasha Kingsky.
Yeah, she was great.
So good in that movie. Yeah. What are you saying?
It's also like the way Harry Dean like has so many subtleties in like his performance. It's like in every other movie he's been in, it's mostly been like a supporting role, and he's kind of played like kind of the same character from what I've seen, right? Mm-hmm. But in this one,
he does, yeah.
He brought like not just so much. He brought like the quietness and the patience a character like this would need, And I think he just really brought it to life. It's probably my favorite performance from him,
It definitely is from what I've seen. I've only seen like Twin Peaks where he's in it for like 20 minutes. And the straight story where he's in at the end. It's like he's barely in anything, but he's so good. He's one of those actors that like definitely doesn't get enough credit. In my opinion, at least.
Man, the music is so great too. It's like
the score is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Fantastic.
It is.
The score is great.
There's something.
The score might have been my favorite part. Like aside from like how it looked, the score is just really good.
I was listening to it this morning. To be honest, I was like, "Oh, I gotta listen."
It like
so good.
out to me like at the beginning and throughout. Like,
it just right from the start. It
was really nice.
Jack, I'm interested to just hear your point. I know you weren't like you weren't exactly emotionally invested, which is fine.
Okay. So I feel like I'll be more. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I didn't feel like I was in a rush to watch it, obviously, but like I had to watch it like today. And I don't know. Maybe because I was not in the right like mood for it. I just didn't feel as connected to it as I had hoped I would. But that'll probably change on rewatch. But like I agree with all the things like the performance and how it looked. And of course, I just said my thoughts on the score, but I just didn't feel as connected to it as I had hoped I would.
I get that. There's sometimes like where a mood can really affect how you feel about a movie.
Yeah,
I relate to that.
I feel like if I watched Paris, Texas, like after like a breakup or something, that would like
that would kill me for real.
That would hit.
Definitely,
Really dark.
What about Grub though? We didn't really have much from you.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what much to add. Basically, so,
but it's also like not entirely depressing, you know. It's like it has
no,
it's not. It's heartwarming moments.
Yeah, it's like it's so very like focused on like family and like those themes of just welcoming and like being back into your like with loved ones. Like it's something like I don't know. It's like very
like Fast and Furious.
It's a very emotional movie, but it's
about
not
family.
really like a depressing movie.
Yeah.
The best, like, okay, obviously, I'm not gonna stating the obvious, but the fucking ending gotta be like one of my favorite endings ever.
Yeah.
In any.
Yeah, it's oh my god.
That ending
It's
really
like,
solidified how much of a Western it feels to me because it's like how the John Ford character at the end would just like walk off into like the sunset or whatever. Like when Harry Dean does that at the end, it's like it really enforced that whole Western ideology and like it just felt so like authentic and like just like I don't know, it's just so beautiful to be honest.
It was
you
beautiful.
know how like we were talking about Natasha Kinski before and like how her performance was amazing, but it really shines for me in that third act when like he's telling the story obviously and it's a long story, but like you can tell even at the start she's a bit nervous. You can tell that you can tell what he's saying is super familiar and like she plays it off as like a joke sometimes. And she's like laughing. I'm like, I know this feeling.
It's all in her eyes too. You know, it's like such a great performance.
It is. It's one of my favorite performances we've seen in a while. To be honest,
you guys talking about Jane?
Yeah, the ending specifically.
Yeah,
it's like
I think that moment where I think my favorite moment with her is where she actually discovers it's Travis.
Yeah,
like she like
she discovers
she pushes up against the glass and is like like that's a legitimately fantastic moment.
Yeah,
it's the whole ending's fantastic.
And then she like breaks down right there. It's like oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
She like it looks like she feels legitimately terrible that like he's leaving. Like even though you hear this, you heard this story that like was definitely like the relationship was abusive and that it didn't like end well at all, and you know it ended with him disappearing and like completely tearing the relationship between her and her child apart. She still sounds genuinely bad that he's leaving again.
Yeah,
and I think that's like a clever way to show that like.
Oh yeah, super clever.
Maybe she's still like sort of in his like under his like grip or something, like in his grip or something. Like he still has a hold on her.
Yeah.
Or maybe she just genuinely loves him, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's supposed to convey like her being like still manipulated. Yeah, I don't know if it's a sign if she's like still if she's still being manipulated or if she genuinely loves him or something. I don't know. And I kind of like that little vague gray area there. I do appreciate that it doesn't just explain it.
Yeah.
There's a line at the end when like Jane says like every man who would talk, like just any man, I could hear you in him.
Yeah.
About Travis, and then but that fits the theme of the Peep shows so well. Like how she started working in a Peep show with all these men who you can't see, and then like by coincidence, well, not by coincidence, sorry, but like she comes across Travis and doesn't even know it's him.
Well, to her it is coincidence.
Well, yeah. But like it's just like it's so clever, the theme, and at the end she's just like, every man I can like hear your voice, and it's like, I don't know, to me that just hit really hard to me.
Yeah.
She's working in this pizza where she can't see anyone, she's not allowed to meet any of the clients. It's just a job she's getting paid for, and it's like, oh man,
I know.
I don't know, it's like sad.
I still probably one of my favorite sequences is when Travis, he wants to walk home with Hunter the first day, and Hunter doesn't really want to.
Yeah.
But then the second time he goes and gets like that outfit, or that I just find that so heartwarming and sweet. And then and then when they're walking, and he's like, as you already said, Xander, like when he bumps into the trash can and he like imitates.
Yeah,
him.
like
that whole sequence is just so heartwarming and fun. I loved it.
Yeah, you could say that it's literally just there for comedy and not really there for development, even though that's definitely bullshit. But you could make an argument that it's just there for comedy, and it's still like, but it still works. It still works as development, even if it was just there for comedy. That's what I really love.
And I feel like that's a bit subjective too. Like, if you could definitely just say, "Oh, that's just for comedy," but I mean, to me, it's definitely deeper than that. But like,
oh no, me too. To me, it's definitely there for. It definitely has more of a purpose than to just make you laugh. It's definitely there because it's there to develop something.
Yeah, because
I agree.
And that's again what I really love about this film. It feels like every scene has more than one meaning in terms of like why it's there.
Just like the little part where he like grabs all of their shoes and cleans them, like that little that little detail is just, it adds so much to him without really saying
anything. That's such a great
about
little
Travis,
thing.
right?
Yeah, that's such a great little thing that like.
Me too. It's a great scene.
Yeah, and honestly, this whole conversation has kind of persuaded me to possibly just giving it a 9, just like on general principle, just because of there's really no like reason why I have it as like a strong A aside from like nitpicks. Yeah. And I kind of just spoiled my score. My score, but you know, I mean,
no, it's fine. No, it's you didn't even saw a spoiler.
Since when do we care about spoilers?
We're talking very in depth, so it's like
it's
a full analysis. So
I've had a poster of Paris, Texas in my room for so long. It's one of those films.
I should get the poster.
Yeah, I have a small poster. I don't even stick it to my wall. I just have it lent up against something because I don't like sticking it to my wall. But like,
I need to get posters.
Yeah,
I need to get like posters from my
me
room.
too. I only have a high and low poster. I have a high and low poster and the final shot of The Shining.
Don't worry, man. I know you, Jacob. That's gonna change. That's gonna change someday.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I'm getting a bunch more posters, true.
It's so impressive that this film feels like so contemporary. It hasn't aged at all. Like,
it could have easily been made today and probably been. And given how much praise Nomadland got, it probably win Best Picture.
Oh, it probably would, yeah.
Bruh. It won the Palme d'Or, didn't it?
I think it did, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely got me. It's definitely got me more excited to watch Wings of Desire.
Wings of Desire.
Until the End of the World. And Pina, these other movies that he's done.
It's a hot take, but I like Wings of Desire more.
That's fair.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I mean, obviously, because
I could like it more, but it's still really good. It's a masterpiece, but I just need to like. I don't know. I obviously just connected more to Paris, and I've seen it,
which makes sense. It really just depends on what you connect more with. Like,
yeah.
I have a question. Should we like in the future like go over like maybe like just for fun like do past episodes or something? Because like we talked about Waves and fucking Belly and like other bangers, and we have and we're not gonna and we're just gonna ignore them. Yeah. Okay, maybe not. Maybe we don't talk about Belly because that's just gonna be me and Bob totally schooling the fuckers.
Oh yeah.
And then you guys being all like,
curious.
"But story though."
I've already forgotten that film, so that one.
Oh my god, I am curious. I didn't even finish Yellow. I literally watched like 20 minutes and turned it off when I realized, great, it's just the same movie. The same crappy movie.
They have different plots, actually, but
let's get back to Paris, Texas for like a little bit.
American films by German director.
Yeah, it is pretty much.
And there's that scene which I don't know. I just find it funny every time I see it when they're like driving down the motorway, following the car, and then there's like two of the exact same car that like on the, you know.
I kind of wish they followed the wrong cars just so it could add some sort of conflict to it, like a little bit. More.
I don't know.
Yeah, it did feel like a little bit too easy.
Yeah, convenient. Yeah.
But you know, I mean, at the end of the day. It's convenient that he fucking found Travis to begin with. The entire story begins on a huge coincidence. So it doesn't really matter if just this one little thing.
But exactly.
I kind of like that they never explain like where he's been.
Because you know when he finds him again, when he finds him walking, like when he somehow like finds Travis like after he leaves the doctor's office, like in the first 20 minutes or first 10 minutes. And he finds him walking, and he just somehow runs into him. Like that was probably like one thing that I was like, okay, that just no. Texas is not that small.
I can't believe they found the time to find the same car. You know, the same car.
Well, no, they didn't find it. They didn't find it.
Well, no, they had to like search for it.
Yeah. They had to. No, they asked the woman for the code, and she just didn't do it on
because like
video because they don't need to. Yeah, it's like
exactly.
They never show anything unnecessary in that film. There's never anything unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't. I said earlier, there's nothing that
show. Yeah,
exactly. There's nothing that I would cut.
No, nothing at all, and there's nothing I would add either. Maybe. No, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna. No, not the scene with the German guy and the brother. Not the scene with the German guy and the brother. I almost said that. Because, no. I think that's enough. Yeah, it's. I don't know.
No, just because the German guy's acting is also like kind of weird. What's funny is that everyone who's American is great, but everyone who's European is not so great. Even though the director is European.
Yeah.
I love the scene where he's just walking on the highway and the whole guy screaming and shit about like
that scene.
That scene is just amazing.
Phenomenal.
That scene is great too.
Yeah. I really hope this film is like a gateway to Wim Wenders for you guys because he's so good. Like from what I've seen 4 films
early in the morning. Like it looks exactly like that, and just that feeling and that feeling of just being like lost in this random city. Like I don't know, just that scene when he's walking. That's probably one of the best, probably like top 3 scenes of the movie for me. Just the sheer beauty of that scene, the fluid long take, just the lack of. There isn't music from what I remember in that scene, right? Or is there like in the background? I don't remember. But
nope, there's not.
Yeah, there's no music. Yeah, I probably would have remembered it.
Yeah,
but, that scene just like hits so fucking hard, and like the guy he says I may be a slime bag or something, and like he keeps going on and on. It's like, well, at least there's self-awareness. Like there's like a level of like intelligence that goes into scenes like that. They don't make scenes like that anymore. No, they do. I just wanted to say that, but seriously, like it really does work well for the movie. It's seriously like a fantastic scene, and again, it is another scene that really doesn't have all that much importance on the surface, and you could really just cut, but the importance is found in the details.
Exactly.
So you just have to look. You have to look beyond. Why would you cut such a beautiful, well executed scene?
For real.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of Wim's filmography, he's really good with pacing and
he is
not putting anything unnecessary in his movies.
Yeah, again, that's why I'm excited for Wings of Desire.
Wings of Desire, oh my god.
You should also
what's that other one he made? The one with the assassin or the thief or whatever that was?
American Friend.
American Friend, yeah, I'm excited for that too.
It's really good. I'm definitely going to rewatch that soon because I feel like
the world looks crazy.
Yeah,
but that movie's legit. Like, isn't that like over 5 hours long? Like, shit.
4 I think now.
Shit. I wonder how Vim's gonna make. That all make all that.
Did he make a sequel to Wings of Desire?
Yeah, it's called Far Away So Close, but no one's seen it at all. I don't even know.
Odd.
It's got
Yeah.
it's got Natasha Kinski in it
Oh, okay.
and Willem Dafoe. So
Nice.
Wait, Willem Dafoe?
I
yeah.
find it. Can we take a brief moment to acknowledge the fact that Natasha Kinski fucks all her directors?
Yeah,
Oof.
holy shit.
That's not
Yeah.
a joke. She legit
No.
isn't the story goes like when she was working on Cat People with Paul Schrader, she started like an affair with it. They had like an affair that lasted the entire shoot, and then like after the rap party she disappeared, and he legit was like gonna propose to her, and when he tracked her down she was like, I fuck all my directors. I don't know why, but that just made me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's dated
It's a funny
Vim. She's
story.
dated Paul Schrader. She's dated Roman Polanski. She dated
Yeah, she dated Roman
David Lynch,
Polanski.
I don't think.
Yikes.
She did.
That's nasty.
Oh, she
Yikes.
did.
David Wenders.
She's dated pretty much most of her directors, and I kind of just I don't like. I'm not like into like I'm not like I don't really care at the end of the day. I really don't. I just find it funny.
No, yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. Just the fact that she shut Paul down by just saying, I fuck all my directors. Like, okay, subtle flex.
Go off, I guess.
You guys should definitely check out Alice in the Cities as well. It's like
Oh yeah.
it's
Didn't
a
he do,
more
what's the trilogy called? The Road trilogy.
the Road trilogy. Yeah, I haven't finished
Yeah.
the trilogy, but it's like Alice in the Cities is a very laid back movie. It's not like heartbreaking. It's really just kind of relaxing.
Yeah, I think
But it's relaxing, but it's actually good. You know, so it happens, and it's interesting. Good character development.
What do you guys
Yeah.
think about the criticism? Well, some people say it's a criticism, but that Kinski would fall in love with Harry Dean Stanton. What do you
Who
guys think
gives a
about
fuck? Who gives a fuck? Who cares?
Because some people
It
Yeah.
serves the
use it,
story.
and like what?
Oh my
What?
god! Like Harry
Wait,
Dean
what- sorry,
Stanton,
wait.
like is not attractive enough. She would not fall for
He's
him.
too old.
And it's like, okay,
No, it's too old.
who cares?
Yeah, the too old thing. No.
What if he was loaded? Like,
Yeah. Regardless,
Who
she's
cares?
she is the right age to pick who she wants to be sleeping with.
Are they two consenting adults? Yes. Then who
Yes.
gives a fuck?
Fuck, yeah. Like, holy shit.
Like, why is that a criticism? It's literally
No,
not like
yeah.
a big. Literally, the only reason like it's a big deal is because people are like so attached to
Credulity.
this stigma that like young people dating old people. Like,
wanna hear
Yeah.
what someone
oh,
said about
it's just not something that happens.
So
and
you
it's like,
guys-
well,
For real.
if the
You
two
guys
people
know,
are genuinely in love, then who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Their relationship is not your business.
You guys know Josh Matthews, that one YouTuber. So his criticism
yeah.
regarding that, he says the other thing that strains my credulity, that Natasha Kinski would fall in love with Harry Dean Stanton. Yes, it is possible. That would mean, given that he's not good looking or rich, that Travis's character, played by Stanton, would have
Damn.
to be one of the most persuasive alphas alive. He clearly isn't.
That-
Why would Kinski
that-
be with him? That's
what?
movie magic, I suppose.
Yeah.
What the
Damn.
kinda...
That's such-
Shit, bro.
Damn, why don't you
That's
tell him
fucked
that his mom's fat while you're at it? Jesus.
Uh-huh.
He's like,
he straight up crushed him. Like, wow. It's like, frankly,
That's terrible.
if that's your biggest criticism, then your argument falls apart. Because if that's really your biggest criticism, and not with anything like filmmaking wise or stuff that actually matters in the story, then you're just trying to find something to criticize. And honestly, like, there's nothing wrong with like looking for flaws if you think there are some, but to deliberately stretch out that kind of criticism into like a huge reason as to why this movie sometimes doesn't work, that's so stupid.
yeah.
That is so fucking stupid.
Guys, I just got this invite from a person named Eden to join this server just called
Don't do
Letterbox.
Don't
We
do
got
it.
it too.
Join,
Don't
right?
do it.
Join. Kistopia, get on.
Yeah.
Wait, has
Kistopia
anyone else
ready,
joined it?
I
I
don't.
think so.
No,
I don't
Wait.
join. I don't join any other servers with letterbox people on it. I don't, because I already find letterbox people cancer enough that like I
This is-
genuinely,
Should
I join it?
genuinely don't. I
Yeah, join
genuinely
it.
don't want to. No,
No,
I'm not
I'm not
joining.
doing it.
What do you guys think when people?
You guys are
say
literally the
Star
most tolerable people on Letterboxd.
Let's go.
Mm,
And you know
I
you
gotta
guys
say
have
none.
cancer sometimes.
Mhm.
I gotta go in 5 minutes, guys.
okay.
All right. Well, anything
Shall we-
else that
shall
we
we-
want to say about
Yeah.
Paris, Texas before we go into ratings?
No, it's
I think
great.
I'm good.
It's a
Too
masterpiece.
long and boring.
Yeah.
Too
All right.
long.
Well,
boring.
then
Pretty slow.
then let's start with the ratings.
1 out of 10.
Seth, you go first because it was your rec. What would you give it out of 10?
Well, considering it is my second favorite movie to ever have been made by anyone, I
So
think
5 out of 10.
yeah,
No,
Yeah.
it's just for me. It's perfect. I can't fault anything. It's a 10. It's a 10.
All right.
Alright.
Jacob, what about you?
I'd give it a 9.
All right.
Pussy.
Grub.
He's eaten.
All right.
Let's go.
Pussy.
Jack.
Very high 8.
All right. Ron. Ronnie boy. Hey, Ron.
Strong, very strong 8. Great movie.
And for me, I am possibly considering a light 9, but I have it as a strong 8, but maybe in like 20 minutes I'll change it to a light 9. So let's
You
just
should.
say strong 8 to light 9 for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
A 9 is the
I guess
best rating
that's
for it.
I guess that's like you know an Anthony Fantano rating, but you know what? I don't care. That's my thoughts on the movie. Strong 8 to light 9.
Did Bob say?
Amazing. I'm
All
glad
right,
you guys loved it.
Yeah, I'm glad you recommended it, and
Yeah, it's
our
a great
next
rec,
rec,
Seth.
our next
Good
rec
rec.
for next episode, if you tune in,
The
is
Virgin
Jacob.
Spring. The Virgin Spring. Let's go.
by Ingmar
Alright.
Bergman. Ingmar Borgman.
Best revenge
Uh,
thriller
best
ever.
director?
Spoiled.
Best director?
Oh yeah, and if you don't want to be spoiled, watch it yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then tune in. And next episode, my girlfriend might be joining us in on the conversation. So
Let's go.
yeah, that's gonna be fun. She was gonna join us this time, but we she didn't realize the movie was like 2 hours long. So by the time we were gonna watch it, it was already pretty late at night. So she decided to skip out on it. So don't worry, she'll join us next time.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boring.
All right.
Follow us on
Boring.
Letterboxd down below.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Get ready for a lot of
Thank-
cancer.
Yeah.
Hey. Thanks
Alright.
for tuning in.
Bye.
Thanks for
Alright.
tuning in to Kistopia
Bye.
Episode 2, the incredibly unnecessary sequel that no one wanted.
Uh,
And get
So
ready
watching.
for the next episode, completing the Kistopia trilogy that really has no reason to exist other than
Yep.
movies.
the ultimate trilogy.
The ultimate
There we
trilogy.
go.
And then tune in
Now
for
you're
the
behind
4th
our Paris
episode,
Texas.
and then the 5th episode, and then the 6th episode.
Yeah.
Just keeps
Maybe
going
the
on.
100th.
Thanks for watching,
If
everybody.
we can get 100 episodes, that'd be kind of fucking awesome, honestly.
It would
Hopefully.
This-
Yeah. I mean, we do make these episodes like every 1 or 2 weeks, so, you know, I mean, it would take a while, but we could do it.
be. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep,
for
that's it.
watching.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning
Bye.
in. Go away. Nah, go away.
Bye.
Get out.
Bye-bye.